Hey Joe, this is Chip. Just wanted to spend maybe about 90 seconds here. It's probably been a while since you guys have actually looked for an IT firm. So I wanted to give you the things that I see most recently and most often as far as why clients may be leaving one MSP to look for another one. And it basically comes down to three things. Number one, speed of response is pretty poor. Years ago, as an MSP, you could get away with a day, maybe two, to respond to client tickets. Those days are definitely long gone. So response time is a big one. Now, when you ask for the statistics, right, you need to see averages and you need to see a large number of tickets versus highlight reels. Now, you may know that already, and so I'm not trying to insult your intelligence or anything, but you'd be surprised how many times I see something like our average is, as I sent you in the RFP, 6 minutes, but they won't show you, we'll say 6 months of tickets showing that. So that's the first one. As you shop, ask to see details and stats in aggregate across something like 6 months. Number two, I hear on a regular basis that the MSP is very hesitant to come on site. That is a big one. In my industry, what the big vendors will tell you is push cloud, push cloud, push cloud. You'll never have to go on site. You can be more profitable, so on and so forth. We've chosen to go the opposite route. We have at least a twice monthly visit on site. Most of our clients use this on a weekly basis to do things like check in with users, check in with key staff, and the most unsung service I've ever come up with, which I wish I would have known it was going to go over so well at the outset, but remove old tech stuff, copiers, printers, PCs, monitors. All you have to do is basically tell us where it is, and some people will put like post-it notes on it or things like that, and we'll come and get it. So back to my point there, number two is how long does it typically take to get on site, and how often will they come out and just basically do like a proactive visit? In that last case, I actually would not offer that up front. I would see if they offer it to you. The third one is going to be how many of their staff are outsourced. So I don't necessarily have a problem with people who outsource, because I certainly know a lot of MSPs that do. Where I think it gets a little gray is when they don't tell you that they're outsourcing, because you can run into compliance issues. So the big one is a lot of people use a couple help desks that are based in Canada and in the Philippines. And that's not a big deal provided they tell you that they're doing so and that there are no US export laws. Because a lot of times, if they're storing things like backups in Canada, you are going to be in a world of hurt if you ever have to make a claim, because US export laws basically say you cannot store that data outside the US. So outsourcing in and of itself is not a bad thing, but you want to ask the question, do you outsource? Kind of as a follow-up there, when it comes to your cyber services, who is evaluating the alerts for SCC? Is it a provider who's then telling this firm about it? Is it the firm evaluating it? Because again, this comes down to, God forbid, there's an issue. Cyber insurance, whatever insurance, is going to say, I need to see the triage path and who did what. And in the scenario of maybe there's a vendor like a Huntress or a SentinelOne or a SIM provider who makes a mistake, you can't go after them. You're going to have to go after the MSP themselves. And as you know, most MSPs are pretty small. So it's just something to think about there. So the really big one there, in terms of kind of what to focus on, is going to be, are they willing to come on site? That's a big one. But the other two are also really important as well. So as you shop around, these are some questions I would definitely ask, and they are really kind of cold and in aggregate from what most prospects are complaining to me about most in 2025.